Sometimes in sports, there's nothing more dangerous than a team that believes it has nothing to lose but everything to gain. And that exact team is coming to Knoxville this weekend to take on Tennessee in the Super Regionals. And Evansville, yeah, they believe they've got the recipe for what it takes to continue shocking teams on its path to Omaha. I'm Paige Dower, and this is the Field Pass. And who knows, maybe they do, because Evansville, they're in rare air right now, becoming just the 9th number 4 regional seed to make it out of the regional since 1999. And then you compare that to Tennessee, the number 1 national seed, who's making its 4th straight Super Regionals appearance. And after looking at what the Aces did in Greenville, they believe they're a resilient bunch. And you can't deny them that when you consider they met number 16 ECU in the opener. They won 4-1. Then they added to that by beating VCU 17-11, though they suffered their first loss to the Pirates by 13 runs in the championship game. So then you have a tiebreaker, winner takes all match on Monday, and the Aces win 6-5. And after I listened to their post-game press conference, it's clear they understand that they are in uncharted waters. But it's that reality that's feeding into their playing with house money mentality.
For us, we've already won. Pressure's off of us. We're playing baseball. We're enjoying this awesome atmosphere. That's what we said. It's like, take it in, man. It's stay present, because these are memories happening in front of you. But at the same time, there's plenty of time for them to be memories. Like, we're still going. The ship ain't sunk yet, so we're still going. So we're gonna keep doing it, but we're gonna keep that same freedom of, hey, man, look at this successful season we already have. And we're gonna go. Are we playing Knoxville for sure? Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go into Knoxville, and it's gonna be the same thing. It's gonna be, man, we gotta get to Omaha. We gotta get to Omaha. And we're like, we're at a Super Regional. And we're going to keep having fun with it. We're going to keep playing inning by inning, pitch by pitch. And that's how you shock teams, is by staying present.
And actually, it's that mindset and that sense of freedom that evaded Tennessee in the early innings against Southern Miss in the regional championship game. Tony Vitello talked at length about that in their post-game press conference, that some of the tension he might have even brought to the dugout. And it really took until that tough play by Xander Seacrest on the mound that kind of shook them out of that mindset, that got them unfrozen. And then you saw that the way the game was able to progress, winning 12-3 when everything was said and done. But having that tension, it's normal at this stage when you consider everything that's up for grabs and what a win at this stage or this inning or this game could mean for the team, the program, and where you guys could go next. But Vitello says it's important that they stay present so that they can also have that sense of freedom.
I think controlling the adrenaline and intensity of the whole deal. I think our crowd helps us a ton. You got to get a little cautious, though, about getting too amped up. And I think our guys handled it great. Again, to me, being the second weekend in a row back home in a playoff environment should help our guys have a vision of what it looks like and how to handle it.
So when we quiet the noise and we're really trying to dissect like how good Evansville is, what are their strengths, what pops out to me on the sheets is their on-base percentage. They've got 4 guys in the starting lineup with an on-base percentage of 400 or greater. They also have a couple of heavy hitters with 21 and 17 home runs, but their strength is their ability to get on base, get the RBIs, and kind of make these innings last a little longer, putting more stress on the pitcher, especially when you consider like the pitch count. Tony Vitello says at the end of the day, it's going to come down to the pitcher being able to throw strikes.
It's about attacking the strike zone at all times, and both staffs are going to try and do that. And then, with that comes knowing that the other team can do damage. So how confident and convicted can you stay at what you're trying to do as a particular pitcher? Because we've gotten to the point this year, like I said, we're not going to run you out there unless we trust you. But each of our pitchers are different, so they need to be convicted in who they are and just present the best version of themselves, with the understanding it's not always going to go perfect. You're not going to get every call. A slow roller might find a hole, whatever it might be. So the fact that they're more talented than the average team is something that's kind of out of our control, and I would like to hope that our pitchers see it out of their control too, and again are convicted to approach things that presents the best version of themselves.
Okay, I know just a second ago I was talking about the heavy hitters, but those 2 guys, it belongs to Mark Sallenberger and Kip Fugers. They have 63 and 66 RBIs respectively, and 17 and 21 home runs respectively. 2 guys that are absolutely on this Tony Vitello staff's radar.
Schallenberger has always been good, and now again he's got so many repetitions that he can make argument for most valuable player in their offense. But like we talked about Indiana in specific last weekend, that offense is kind of 1 through 9. And then even Southern Miss, 7, 8, 9 kind of give us big time headaches in that game. So again, you get to this point, it's not blowing smoke. It's a fact, you know, that everybody in the lineup is capable of doing damage, but he kind of leads the way.
Okay, now we know Evansville, they've got a team that can hit home runs, get on base, and then they can get the guys to cross the dish. That puts a lot of pressure on the Tennessee pitching staff, which actually has taken a hit of its own. Coach Tony Vitello mentioning earlier today that A.J. Russell is all but shut down for the remaining of the season. He will not participate in the Super Regional as he continues to have lingering issues with his arm. This will be the third time he's been shut down this season, and this was Coach Vitello talking about his pitcher earlier today.
He's still involved in practice and things like that right now, but he's kind of assumed a role in the dugout where he takes on some other duties, and to me, I enjoyed being around him. So for now, that's his task, and we'll see where we get, but more than likely would be shut down for the year.
And of course, the team is hoping to get 2 wins and be done and turn their attention to Omaha. So with AJ being out of the mix, Vitello and company are going to have to get a bit creative on how they utilize their bullpen this weekend.
The one difference between this and Hoover is you have a vision of where you're at. It's, similar to a conference series, or, we played those 3 non-conference series where it's a maximum of 3 games. It's a race to get to 2 wins. So it does kind of change the way you play out each game. So with how those guys have been throwing, I think it just kind of puts them in a group where we trust them. And also there's no excuses from our end or their end. They've been in a low rhythm where they've been pitching. And again, to throw in Hoover is one thing, but to throw last week is another.
So as Tennessee looks to find the solution and the rotation for its pitching staff, especially with the guys coming out of the bullpen, when we look again at the Aces offense, Vitello says it reminds him a lot of a particular SEC opponent, the Kentucky Wildcats. Because of their well-balanced offense, they're comprised of a lot of veterans, tons of seniors on the team, and they've got a fun style of play when they're on offense, and that has its own challenges.
Their style of play is fun. They're very confident. They get after it and play hard. So on top of the talent that's there, they got a style of play too that makes them maybe the sum better than the parts. And I think that's something that was entertaining for the folks that were out east watching their regional, which was highly competitive. And then again, something that's kind of been their engine.
Some of that also sounds a little bit like Tennessee, and they probably need to remember too that they're a fun bunch. And actually a funny moment towards the end of the media availability earlier today, we were talking about Billy Amick's walk-up song and how it gets the entire dugout and the entire stadium involved. I then asked Vitello if he wishes his walk-up song in college had the same effect, or if he likes the walk-up song that he chose to this day.
I wish I could hit better when I played, but I did like the one that I had, and there's a little more backstory to it, but I like that. I think it's fun that the NCAA decided to flip the script a little bit, because they used to not allow, scripted music for any team, and now it makes it more enjoyable. And I think this thing has blown up into something. When I was little watching games in Omaha, I didn't think it would get to this level where there's so many superstar players to talk about, like some of the guys you asked about from Evansville and mentioned CAGs, and the music and the crowds. This is a massive deal, and I'm envious of the people that get to be fans in the stadium this weekend. But next best thing will be standing there trying to get some wins.
What was your song?
Danzig, Mother.
Okay.
Yeah, you probably don't know what that is. Yeah, again, a little bit of a backstory, but also criteria for me was pick something unique, and for the most part, that's unique.
Okay, I did listen to the song. I do recognize it, but I do need to redeem myself later this week because I did not recognize the name of the song when he initially said it. And then thanks to the primetime games this weekend, I will have our episode on Friday and maybe Sunday later into the evening to have more of a post-game recap kind of feel from the field. But until then, please subscribe. Thank you all for listening. I've noticed like a huge surge in subscriptions and such this weekend. I've also started to make a few more like shorts, so maybe take a look at that, see if you like it or what other content you guys would like to see from that. But thank you as always for listening, and I'll be back on Friday.